And veteran cruisers alike, welcome aboard to the Disney Dazzle. We're going to tell you about everything you need to know when it comes to planning a Disney cruise right now the right way. Hey everybody, welcome to Disney Dazzle, and I've been in major cruise mode lately. Across Disney's 5 different cruise ships, there's so much to see and do, but today's video will help you figure out how to prepare, what to expect, and which activities you need to prioritize while on board no matter which ship you're planning to sail away on. This is basically going to help you make sure you don't waste your time on anything. And remember, a lot of these ships are different than they used to be, so hopefully this will help even if you've been on a few cruises before. Getting ready to head out super soon, you're going to need to start packing. Alright, before you go, and this is obviously when most of the planning is going to happen. So you and your group have made it official and you're actually going on a Disney cruise. Is this real life? Yes, it is. The great thing about taking a Disney cruise versus visiting the parks is that automatically you're going to be in for a much more relaxing vacation experience. But that doesn't mean you're just going to show up on the day your ship leaves and call it good. There are a few extra steps you're going to need to take care of even months before you set sail. This is going to make sure that your cruise is as smooth and carefree as possible. Step 1. Book early. First and foremost, let's get one of the most important bits of advice out of the way here. The earlier you can book your stateroom, the better off you're going to be. Here's why. There are a few different stateroom options you're going to have to choose from. Those inside stateroom. Those are the cheapest and won't give you a look out at the sea. The ocean view staterooms, like the inside rooms, these are best for 3 to 4 guests. But unlike the inside rooms, you'll get a little portal window that looks out at the water. The ocean view with veranda rooms can usually sleep 3 to 4 or 3 to 5 guests, and they have private outdoor verandas. And the concierge staterooms. These are the most expensive options, but will give you the most base. Staying concierge will also provide you with concierge services, including early booking times for excursions and private lounge access. If you're wanting concierge benefits, but you don't want to pay sweet prices, each ship also has a few concierge family ocean view staterooms available too. Still pretty expensive, but not as expensive as the suites. So to sum things up, the earlier you book, the more likely you're going to be able to select the specific stateroom you want without having to choose from whatever's left over, because you can literally choose the actual room you're going to stay in, which is very, very cool. But again, the best ones are going to sell out the fastest. Step 2. Pay off your trip. When you book your cruise, you'll be able to pay it off through what Disney refers to as a flexible payment plan. That being said, I'd plan to pay off your cruise as soon as you can. Why? Because you're not going to be able to book any extra on-cruise activities like the adults-only dining, certain meet and greet opportunities, the nursery, or other special events until you've made your final payment. This is especially important to remember if you're traveling in concierge, since you'll be able to book activities even earlier than everyone else. If you're wanting to book those extras, stay tuned for that booking email that Disney will drop in your inbox, and make sure you send your requests at midnight, the day bookings open for concierge. After all, if you're staying in concierge or you're a platinum or a pearl member of the Castaway Club, meaning you've sailed 10 to 25 times with Disney Cruise Line before, congratulations! Then this early booking access will be one of the only ways you can get a private cabana on Castaway Cay if you want one, because those get snatched up real quick, like faster than Cindy Reels, Royal Table, and Disney World quick. Aside from concierge privileges, when you get to book your extra cruise activities all depends on your Castaway Club member status. The more cruises you've been on, the earlier you get to book all the extra fun stuff. New cruisers will be to start booking these extra activities 30 days out. And that includes your port excursions and things on the ship, like I said before. The Palo and Remy, adults-only dining, the nurseries, all of that stuff. Step 3. Check into your stateroom. For new cruisers and seasoned pros, make sure to check into your stateroom as soon as you can. The earlier you can check in, which for new cruisers will still be 30 days out right at midnight, the earlier you'll be able to board the ship. And the earlier you board, the more time you get to spend on board, which means you can have your first all-inclusive lunch and ride the water slides with little to no lines, starting off strong. Now, checking in can be a hassle because you're going to have everybody's passports. You're going to have to make sure you get all that stuff in. You check all the boxes, cross all the T's, dot all the I's. So give yourself a good hour or so to make sure you can get checked in and you don't have to worry about anything. Also, you're going to have headshots of everybody, which you can just take with your phone, that's fine. But make sure you've got everybody present. And if you're traveling with people who aren't with you in your house, then make sure they know that you're going to need that from them to check them in. Step 4. Decide on your cell service. Okay, just a heads up, access your Disney Cruise Line Navigator app, which is basically the cruise equivalent of Disney World's My Disney Experience app, meaning you're going to hear me talking about it a lot today since that little app will become your best friend. Now, if you don't want to lose access to the outside world while you're riding across the seas, then you'll need to determine if you'd like to get an international plan or a cruise plan on your cell phone. Now, stay alert, because if you end up going out on the seas and your phone is basically roaming a whole bunch looking for a signal, it can cost you a ton of money. So I use the AT&T International plan that automatically notices if I go out of the country and costs me just $10 per day to have my same data plan. It's much better than paying those roaming charges and suddenly having a $100 plus bill when you get home. It's also easier than finding an internet cafe at every port. Or if you're in desperate need of an internet detox, then just put your phone in your pocket for the next few days and rely on it solely for pictures and Navigator app info. Make sure that your phone is on airplane mode though, you all. That is very, very, very important if you don't want to pay those roaming charges. Step 5. Or pre-order extra goodies. If there's anything you want delivered to your stateroom before you arrive, you can pre-order bottled water, fun, celebratory decor by going to the onboard gifts page on the Disney Cruise Line website. This stuff will cost extra with prices varying depending on what you get, but it's really fun to have stuff waiting in your room for you or to surprise someone else when you get there. Alright, it is time to get on the ship. I can't even begin to tell you how exciting it is when your boarding group number is finally called and you're able to step into your Disney cruise ship for the first time. Whether it's your first cruise or your 100th cruise, it'll still give you chills regardless. But let's talk a little more in depth about that first day, because you're going to do a heck of a lot more than just jumping on board to set sail. Step 6. Drop off your luggage. When you drive up to your port of call, you can drop off your luggage with the Disney Cruise Line crew before you park. They'll be the folks dressed in the bright shirts. These cast members are responsible for delivering your luggage up to your room between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock. If you'd rather keep your luggage with you, you can hold on to it, but you will have to carry it around until your room is ready, which won't be until after 1:30 p.m. So if your boarding time is around 11ish, you might be stuck rolling around all your stuff for the next couple of hours, which can be a pain when you're ready to explore everywhere. Step 7. Park. If you're driving your own vehicle over to your port of call, be prepared to pay for those extra parking garage fees. On a 3-day cruise, this usually costs a little over $70 total, which you'll pay right before you park. Step 8. Pull out your passport. Before you enter the ship's terminal, you'll be asked to show your passport, so make sure each member of your family has theirs out and ready to go. For ports of call like Castaway Cay and Nassau right now, you won't need to have your passport on hand to get on and off the ship, but I'll tell you what you will still need a little later on in the video. That being said, at different ports of call, the regulations could be different depending on when you're sailing and where you're sailing, and could still require you to have your passport out and ready to be checked before you get on and off at your overseas destination. Always double check your specific cruise guidelines on the Disney Cruise Line website to see what you'll need to have with you before you get off the ship. Just to be on the safe side, I recommend having your passport close by. Step 9. This is especially important if you don't plan on paying for overseas data plans. Turn off roaming or unexpected data charges on your phones to save money. Remember to use airplane mode for optimal convenience. But that's not all, we will be bringing more for you. To stay updated on all things Disney Dazzle, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Your magical journey starts with us. And join our Disney Dazzle by subscribing. Remember, the more you know, the more magical your trip will be.